Ladies and gentlemen, it's wonderful to have you here. You're going to enjoy probably one of the greatest shows that ever hit Broadway. And now, Coop Spotlight Productions is proud to present Meredith Wilson's Music Band. Maestro, strike up the band.
You can talk, 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 bicker, bicker, bicker. but you gotta know the territory.
Why, it's Model T Ford made the trouble. Mean the people want to go, want to get up and go 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the county seat.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Who's going to patronize a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What do you talk? Where do you get it? Not the Model T at all. Take a gander at the store, at the modern store, at the present day store, at the present day modern departmentalized grocery store. What do you talk? Where do you get it? Where do you talk? Where do you get it?
You can talk, you can bicker, you can talk, you can bicker, you can talk, bicker, you can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Why, if you need a biscuit, made the trouble, you need it. Put the crackers in the package, You need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package. Made the Cracker Barrel obsolete.
The Cracker Barrel went out the window with the mailbox, got plugged John at the stove. Changed the approach of the traveling salesman. Made it pretty hard. No, it didn't. But you gotta know the territory.
Gone.
Gone with the hog's head, cask and demijohn. Gone with the sugar barrel, pickle barrel, milk pan. Gone with the toast and the pail and the tears.
Ever meet a fellow by the name of Hill?
Hill?
No!
Just a minute.
Never heard any salesman. Hill?
Well, he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory.
What's the fella's line?
Never worries about his line.
He never worries about his line.
Or the Cracker Barrel being obsolete, or the you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package, or the Model T Ford. Just a minute. Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Or a doggone thing. He's just a bang beat, bell ringing, big hog, great goat, nectar nothing, rip roaring. Every time a bullseye salesman, that Professor Harold Hill knows what's his line. He's a fake kid. He doesn't know the territory. Look, what do you talk? He's a music man.
He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums. The big brass bass. And the piccolo uniforms too, with a shiny gold braid on the coat and a big red stripe running.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. Mandolin picks, perhaps, and here and there a mouth harp.
No, the fella sells bands, boys' bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king, and he dallies, and he gathers, and he plucks, and he shines. When the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. But he doesn't know the territory. All right, fellas, if you're all through, I'm now going to tell you about Harold Hill. You mean you actually know Harold Hill? I never met him a day in my life. But I'll tell you all this. He's given every single one of us a black eye. Why, after he's finished working over a town, the next salesman that comes through is automatically tarred and feathered and run out of the next city rail. I think that's funny, huh? Yeah, well, wait till it happens to you.
Yeah, but why should he get rode out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and uniforms and instruction books, he has to guarantee that teach those kids how to play. Well, and the form a band with himself as the leader. What's wrong with that? He don't know one note from another. That's what's wrong with it. Why, he doesn't know the difference between a bass drum and a pipe organ. Now, if I ever get my hands around that neck of that hill, I'll make him squeal. Oh, I'd sure love to be around when you catch up with that fella. Yeah, well, won't be in this town. Not in Iowa. Not even that great Professor Harold Hill would try to work with over on those bone-necked Hawkeyes out here.
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll give Iowa a try.
Hey, buddy, I didn't catch your name. Hey! Right, hold on. Right.
though we may not ever mention it again.
You really ought to give Iowa, oh God, Iowa, Dubuque, Des Moines, Davenport, Marshalltown, Mason City, Keokuk, Hicks, Clearlake. Ought to give Iowa a try.
Mr. Squires, I'd like to inquire about hiring a rig for next Sunday, if you can accommodate me.
Well, I expect you want to see the man in charge of hiring rigs.
Who's late, as usual. Hey, Gregory Marcellus!
Why, you old son of a gun! What is... But Greg!
Professor Hill's the name. Harold Hill.
But Greg, why didn't you tell me you was coming?
Didn't know it was myself. Besides, how was I supposed to know you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You used to be a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you work. Besides, I got me a nice, comfortable girl. Ethel Toppelmeyer, the boss's niece.
Oh, got legitimate, eh? I knew you'd come to no good.
So, what's the new catch? Oh, you're not back in the band business. Last time I heard you was in steam automobiles.
I was.
So what happened?
Somebody actually invented one.
No.
Give me the lowdown here, Mark.
You'll never get anywhere with these stubborn Iowans, Greg. Besides, we got this stuck-up music teacher here who'll expose you before you can get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
The music teacher, she's a librarian, female.
Oh, perfect. Just what I wanted to hear. Now, if she passes by, be sure to point her out to
I
me.
will. So, how you gonna start the pitch?
Same way as always. First, keep that music teacher off balance. Then get this town out of the serious trouble it's in.
River City isn't in any trouble.
Well, then I'll have to create some. I've got to create a desperate need for a boys' band. You remember. Now, what's new around here? What can I use?
Nothing. Except the billiard parlor just put in a new pool table.
Huh, they never had a pool table here before?
Nah, only billiards.
Oh, that'll do. I'll see you later, Marson. Remember, music teacher.
Music teacher, gotcha.
Ah, Mr. Dunlop.
Yeah?
Either you are closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player. Certainly mighty proud to say it. I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider the hours I spend with a cue in my hand are golden. Help you cultivate horse sense and a cool head and a keen eye. Did you ever take and try and get an ironclad lead for yourself from a three-rail billiard shop? But just as I say, it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a offline game. I say any boo can take and shove a ball in a pocket. And I call that sloth. The first big step on the ropes to the depths of degradation. First, medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle, and the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit and listening to some big out-of-town Jasper tell him about horse race gambling. Oh, not a wholesome trotting race, no, but a race where they sit down right on the horse. You ever see some stuck-up jockey boy sitting down on Dan Pat, making blood boil? I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets on the table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum, with a capital B and that rhymes with P and that stands for fool. And all week long, your River City youth will be frittering away. I say your young men will be frittering away. Their noontime, suppertime, chore time too. Get the ball in the pocket. Never mind getting dandelions pulled and the screen door patched to the beefsteak pounded. Never mind pumping any water. Your parents are caught with a cistern empty on Saturday night, and that's trouble. You got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the knickerbockers, young ones, shirt tail, even in the pool hall window after school. Trouble, folks, right here in River City, with a capital T that rhymes with P and that stands for fool. Now I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm going to be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while they're loafing around the hall? They'll be trying out Bebos, trying out Q-Bips, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette fiends. And all the while bragging that they're going to cover up the telltale breath with sense. And one fine night, they leave the the pool hall, headed for the dance of the armory. Libertine men and scarlet women and ragtime. Shameless music that'll take your son, your daughter, in the arms of an animal jungle instinct mass hysteria. Frenzy idle brain is the devil's playground. Trouble! Right here in River City. With a capital T that rhymes with P that stands for pool. We surely got trouble. Right here in River City. Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school. Mothers of River City, heed that warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The minute your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he starting to memorize jokes from Captain Billy's whiz-bang? Are certain words starting to creep into his conversation? Words like, swell! And so's your old man! Well, if so, my friends, you got trouble! We're right here in River City! With a capital T that rhymes with P that stands for pool! Oh, we surely got trouble! Right here in River City! Remember the Maine, Plymouth Rock, and the Golden Rule! Oh, we got trouble! We got terrible, terrible trouble! That game of the 15 numbered balls is a devil's tool! Oh yes, we got trouble, trouble, trouble! Who with a T? Got rhyming with a P! That stands for
Fine, dear. Now your exercises.
Yes, ma'am. I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July.
Oh, it was, Mama, all evening. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town.
Oh, who?
I've never seen him before.
Did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Mama, of course not. Now, don't dawdle, Amaryllis. So do-la-re-ti me a little slower, and please keep your fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind my saying so, it wouldn't have hurt you to have found out what the gentleman wanted.
I know what the gentleman wanted, Mama.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Excuse me for living, but I've never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with the same old comment about the low mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help but concerned that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But darling, when a woman's got a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if she can quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all them other highfalutin Greeks.
Mama, if you don't mind my saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
Now I haven't changed the subject, I was talking about that stranger.
What stranger?
With the suitcase. Maybe your very last chance.
Mama, do you think that I'd allow a common masher now? Really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards, and if you don't mind my saying so, there's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to your London Paul London St. Pat and Noah Windsor. You've concocted for yourself out of your Irish imagination, your Irish stubbornness, and your library full of books.
Well, if that was the best I ever heard.
Thank you. Can I have a drink, please?
May
May I
I?
have a drink, please?
Yes, dear.
Winthrop, it's after dark. Is that any way to walk into the house?
Hello.
I'll have a kiss from me boy. That lady over there is your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop.
Winthrop, mind your manners.
I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you please come? I'd especially like it very much if you'd come. Winthrop?
Well, Winthrop, Amaryllis asked you to her party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name.
He won't say Amaryllis because of the S, because he has a lisp. He's ashamed.
We know all about his list, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop,
I bet he won't say it. No, thank you. Amaryllis. Amaryllis. He's crying. Why does he get so mad at people just because he has a lisp?
His lisp is only part of it, Amaryllis.
What's the other part?
Oh, never mind, dear. It's just he never talks very much.
Not even to you and your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient even though he doesn't ever talk to me. But I do him every night and say goodnight to him on the Evening Star. You have to do it the very second you see it too, or it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight. Oh.
Oh, there, dear. Don't cry. You have lots of time. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never unlive an old maid like you. I'm sorry, Miss Marian. Can I play my crosshand piece?
May
May I play my crosshand piece?
You may.
You see, without a sweetheart, you have no one to say goodnight to on the Evening Star.
I know, Amaryllis. But for now, just say goodnight, my someone. You can put the name in when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my crosshand piece.
good night, my someone.
wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, for leading the singing. And to J.C. Squires for his fine stereopticon slides. And to Ethel Toffelmeyer, our fine piano player. As mayor of River City, I welcome you River City-sians to the 4th of July exercises set up for the indoors inside Madison Gymnasium. Account the weather. Fourscore. Fourscore. The members of the school board will now present a patriotic tableau. The members of the school board will not present a patriotic tableau. A disagreement about costumes, I suppose. Instead, the Watangi girls of the local wigwam of Hiawatha will present a spectacle, My Wife, in which my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, will take a leading part. Mrs. Shin will recover. No thanks to a certain young ruffian who's a disgrace to our city. 407. The Payne's fireworks spectacle, the last days of Pompeii, will take place tonight. As long as the rain stops by 9:30, it'll be held over to Madison Picnic Park in the far meadow across the creek from the pest house.
How could it be raining? Didn't the Gazette promise fair?
That's right, Ebert. That's why we're all prepared for the storm.
The Gazette's accurate most of the time.
Who knows? It's very hard to get in your
Let's have order here. Order!
The 8:15's late again tonight.
I think you're early.
She's late, all right.
She's right on time.
Stop, enter it in public. Never mind. observe me if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize a River City Boys Band. Oh, think, my friends, how can any pool table ever hope to compete with a gold trombone? Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous fabled walls of Jericho. Oh, billiard parlor walls come tumbling down. Oh, yes, a band will do it, my friends. Oh, yes, I say a boys' band, do you hear me? I say River City needs to have a boys' band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand. River City's gonna have a boys' band. Sure as the Lord made little green apples, that band's gonna be a uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred. And you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals, and hear the rolling thunder of drums, and the shimmer of trumpets. Ta-da-da! And you'll feel something akin to the same, the electric feeling I once enjoyed when Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, the great Creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade, with 110 cornets right behind. They were followed by rows and rows of famous virtuosos supreme of every famous band. 76 trombones in the morning sun, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 breeds, springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. Copper bottom symphony and horse platoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double bell, euphonium, and big bassoons. Each bassoon having a big fat say. There were 50 mounts of cannon in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who'd improvise a full octave higher than the the young lady home by way of the library. By way of the candy kitchen.
Oh, do I got it?
You got it.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Gotta hand it to you. You're a pretty clever fellow. However, you did make a few mistakes.
Oh.
First off, the billiard parlor and the pool game, I didn't know I both belonged to the mayor.
What was my other mistake?
That is Anita. That would be the mayor's eldest girl.
Professor Hill, we want your credentials. We are the school board.
Academic certificates.
Nothing of the kind.
Papers, documents.
Man can't put up a bond.
Oh, wait a minute. What am I hearing now? You, sir, say...
Ice cream. Ice cream, but I don't sing it. Down here. Ice cream. Up slow. Ice cream.
You see, singing is only sustained talking. Now you... Now you, right there.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ladies, from now on, you'll never see one of these men without the other three.
Professor, you're wrong. Why, these men have hated each other for over 15 years.
We all sincerely love ice cream. How can there be any sin insincere?
Where is the good in goodbye, in goodbye, in goodbye, in goodbye? Your apprehensions confuse me, dear. Puzzle and mystify, tell me what can be fair in farewell, dear. While one single star shines above, how can there be any sin insincere? Aren't we sincerely in love? Oh, we're in love.
I don't suppose you live alone or anything.
No.
You know, I've got some wonderful carpets back in my hotel room.
Mr. Hill.
The Professor Hill.
Professor of what? At what college do they give a degree for annoying women on the street like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
Well, I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of up 5.
Well, even that should happen to be true. What gives you any right to follow me around wherever I go? Oh, and another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town. And I think it'd only be fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books that may very well give me some interesting information about you.
Hey, Greg!
Hey, Marcel, don't call me Greg.
So, Greg, how did it go with the music teacher?
Scrumptious. Ate out of my hand the minute I tipped my hat.
Oh, she did. Boy, did you cut a swat tonight. I even thought you knew something about leading a band. Just like when you used to imitate that band concert fella back in Joplin.
Oh, yeah. Kid stuff, huh? I'm in rare form these days, son. Just you keep your eyes on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? It only used to take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
It still does, but it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh, no, Greg, you haven't added uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books? But you can't pass yourself off as a music professor
No.
not for 4 weeks. But you don't know one note from another.
I got a revolutionary called the think system, where you don't bother with notes.
But in 4 weeks, those people are going to want to hear some music. You'll have to lead the band.
When the uniforms arrive, they'll forget all about that, at least long enough for me to collect and leave. Oh, this is a refined operation, son. I've got everything timed right down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. And now, Mr. Washburn Field, excuse me.
Gonna line yourself up a little canoodling, huh?
Well,
Say, I should fix you up with Ethel's sister. She teaches Sunday school over at that First Presbyterian on 4th Street.
No wide-eyed, innocent, wholesome, eager Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of girl spins webs no spider ever. Listen, boy. A girl who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle. No golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir, or no Diana do I play fawn. I can tell you that right now. I snark, I hiss, how could ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark, I fizz, for the lady who knows what time it is. I cheer, and I rave, for the virtue I'm too late to save. The sadder but wiser girl for me. No bright-eyed, blushing, breathless baby doll baby. No, sir, that kind of girl ties knots no sailor ever knew. I prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. No, do young miss who keeps resisting, all the while she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir, for she's the fisherman, I'm the fish you see. Flop, I flinch, I shy, when the lass with the delicate air goes by. I smile and I grin when the gal with the touch of sin walks in. I hope and I pray for Hester to win just one more ray. The sadder but wiser girl, the girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
Everybody's so excited about the band. I'm Ethel Toppelmeyer, the piano girl. Oh, and this is Mrs. Squires, and Mrs. Hicks, and of course you've met Eulalie McHeckish, our mayor's wife. Oh, isn't it exciting, Eulalie?
I couldn't say. I could not say. I could not say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure, and naturally I'm reticent. I am reticent.
Yes, of course, Mrs. Shin. But you see, my music plans also include a committee on the dance, and I... Oh, Mrs. Shin, do that again, your foot, the way you raised it just now.
I haven't done it.
Oh, what style, what grace, what sense of line and movement. Ladies, she must accept the chairmanship for the Ladies Auxiliary Committee on the Classic Dance. Mustn't she, ladies? Every move you make, Mrs. Shin, bespeaks Del Sargent. Oh, say you will. Say you will. Say yes, Mrs. Shin.
Eulalie McHeckish.
Then you will?
Well, dancing. Well, well, yes,
Yes, thank you. And now I'd like to ask you about Marion Peru, the lady who teaches piano. After all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, 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 pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, 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 talk a lot, pick a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, chip, chip.
Dirty books!
Oh!
around till she came down. Oh, the Madison.
Miser Madison, Madison Gymnasium Madison, Picnic Park Madison, Hospital, that Miser Madison.
Exactly. Who did he think he was, anyway?
Well, the nerve. Probably gave the town the library too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he left the library to the city.
But he gave all the books to her.
She was seen going and coming from his place.
Oh, yes! Oh, yes! That woman ran parade over shores with a future guarantee. She golden glint in her eyes, super take you up for free. Just melt her down and you'll reveal a love of lead and gold and steel. Now, where women's options. The library building, but he left all the books to her. To her. Bravo!
Oh,
Yes, of course. You will have to have the lady back at my hotel. I'll take you just a second. Come see. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. We're going to leave you now. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. We're going to leave you It's all right. I know everything, and it doesn't make any difference.
what are you talking about?
Oh, you were probably very young. After all, anyone can make a mistake.
What?
Oh, no apologies, no explanations necessary. I'll only be in town for a short while, and the sad of it, wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
But I have.
Well, what do you want to take out?
The librarian!
Quiet, please.
You're not listening, Marion. The librarian. Marion. Marbles. 6 steelies, 8 aggies, a dozen peewees, and 1 big glassy with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop them.
No! No!
Madam Librarian. What can I do, my dear, to make it clear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, heaven help us if the library caught on fire and the volunteer hose brigade men had to whisper the news to Marian. Madam Librarian. What can I do, my dear, to make it clear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marian, heaven help us. I busted my whatchamacallit. I could lie on your floor unnoticed, though my body had turned to carrion. Madam Librarian. But in the moonlight, a man could sing it. In the moonlight. And the fellow would know that his darling had heard every word of his song with the moonlight helping along. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win. For the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin any talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marian. Madam Librarian. What would I try in here to tell you, dear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win. For the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin any talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marian. Madam Librarian. The ladies' dance committee meets Tuesday nights at the high school. Marshmallow? That was some morning, Tommy. 11 sales out of 12 tries. Tell you what, it's almost noon. Why don't you head home and get some dinner? I'll try a couple by myself.
All right, talk to you later, Professor.
Thanks, Tommy.
Just a minute. Are you soliciting? You haven't got a license.
Oh, no, Mission. You see, I collect door chimes. This particular model has an unusual tone quality that I admire.
Flattery will not avail you. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. Why haven't you been down to City Hall with your
I
references?
just missed you. Oh, Mr. Mayor, your hand. Oh, no.
What? What?
That spread of your little finger there, it's hereditary.
It is? Well, what does that mean?
Well, it means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good. It means that America has finally produced an artist who can flugel a minute waltz in 50 seconds.
Where do I get one of those horns?
Oh, sign right here, Mr. Mayor. That'll be $17 import fee.
Hey, yes, sir. And just think, I could have missed out on... I haven't got a son! You unscrupulous fly-by-night, you unclipulous, you'll be down at City Hall with your by-God papers at 3 o'clock.
You mean this afternoon?
I couldn't make myself plainer if I was a Quaker on his day off.
Mrs. Peru, do you realize that you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
Well, if your son has that same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles, by George, not that he could ever be really very good, you understand.
Is that so? In the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all the really great cornet players, well, they were Irish. Oh, Clark, oh, Mendez, oh, Klein.
But, Professor, we are Irish.
No, no, Oh, really? Well, sign right here, Mrs. Peru. That clinches it. Your boy was born to play the cornet. And now then, that'll be $7 earnest money. It's nothing more due till the opening of band practice. Oh, fine, fine, yes. Now I'll need the boy's measurements for his uniform. Oh, hello, son. Yes, it's his uniform. But don't worry, nothing more is due until the opening of practice, and that gives him 4 weeks to anticipate, to imagine at no additional cost whatsoever. Never let the needs of tomorrow interfere with the pleasures and excitement of today.
What an elbow!
A stripe? Oh, certainly, my boy. A wide red stripe down each side. What do you think of that?
You'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us. And if you can get him to play in the band, you'll have St. Michael's own way with ya. But if anyone can do it, I'll bet you can. Out of a crowd, I'd pick you for a hood carrying, clay pipe smoking, shamrock wearing, harp playing, mavorine pitching, terra hall singing, Irishman. Speak out of me jabbers. Where are you from, me boy?
Gary, Indiana.
I knew it, Gary. Where did you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
What's she now?
Oh, yes. Go down to class block 5.
Ooh.
How to do, Miss Peru?
How to do, Mr. Hill?
Peru. I knew that name sounded familiar. I've been trying to see you since the other night.
He wants to put Winthrop in the band.
Mama, we're not interested.
But Marion, he might have his father's musical gift. He does have my jaw, you know.
No, your husband musical? Well, that settles it. Well, I'd like to talk with him. I'm sure we
Do you
could.
come into everyone's home prying like into personal business like this? We're not interested.
Marion.
Well, now that's 1 for and 1 against. Why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
Well, I'm terribly sorry, but that's all the more reason why your little brother needs something like this.
My brother's a 10-year-old problem child who can't understand why his father was taken from him. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years. And as for your musical tricks, Mr. Hill, why don't you get into business with some nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks, Miss Peru. I hardly think. You know, I get the feeling she likes the idea. A little cautious, perhaps, but I admire that in a woman. Just keep me alive. I'll be back later in the week.
Okay, about the boy's measurements, Professor. I make all his clothes. Sleeves 21, a waist 18, crotch 14.
Yes. Oh, fine. That's all I need. Now I've got to get back to the hotel.
Okay, and Professor, please excuse Marion. She's not really...
Oh no. Don't worry about a thing. I'm sure that at heart, she's as lovely as yourself. Good day to you, Widow Peru.
Ooh.
Has he gone?
He has, and I hope not forever. Darling, don't you ever think of your future? Gary, Indiana, conservation class of Lot 5. Now, darling.
No, Mama. Surely a girl's future doesn't depend on every fast-talking, woman-chasing, egotistical traveling salesman that comes into town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right. But there's a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in the other, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop! Winthrop, I know you're there. Please go to the library and ask Miss Grubb for the book that I set aside. It's the Indiana State Education Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large brown volume with black corners.
Do I have to?
You don't have to talk to anyone. I've written it all down for you. Thank you, dear.
Now, what are you up to? What kind of books do you need at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling that the Indiana State Education Journal will help me to poke some very large holes in the professor's claims.
Oh, all right, darling, I give up. At your age, what kind of a white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I don't expect Luther Greener, who backs me into the ancient history section every time he comes to the library.
He does.
Or Ed Gamage and that buggy of his with the removable back seats. But I'm not waiting for a knight in shining white armor either. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me
Zanita. Hey, Zanita.
Honey, Papa and Mama are sitting right there in the bank. He dance.
Then meet me after supper.
I can't. It's Epworth leave night. Meet you where?
Down at the book bridge.
You see, isn't that just what I said? Last time the lumber yard, and now the book bridge. And where will you meet me after that? In the black hole of Calcutta? Ye can't!
But I only wanted to show you my invention.
What invention?
The music holder for the marching piccolo player. A few minor flaws. See, when you hold it tight enough to hold the music, you cut off your circulation. Meanwhile,
Tommy, it's Papa.
Is that the first thing I said or not?
Yes, George.
Yes, the very first thing I said, or I'll eat hay with a horse. Get that spellbinder's credentials, I said. Morning of July 4th, 1912. And now look, my wife is dancing and ending all hours instead of in the home.
No, George.
The school board is singing up street and down alley instead of tending to city matters. Our oldest girl is boodling around with some wild kids. And my business has fallen off so far, I can't find the balance sheet.
Oh, Mayor Shin, if you'll just take a minute, I found something very interesting in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater.
Is what?
His university.
Oh, I know all about that. In fact, that's all I can ever get out of him. Gary Conservatory, class of lot 5.
Oh, if you'll just take a minute to read in here about the conservatory, you
Papa,
won't have to look any
Papa!
further.
The Wells Fargo wagon is just coming up from the depot!
Oh, likely story at this hour of the day. Nonsense. The Wells Fargo wagon.
It would be the band instrument!
The band instrument.
Coming down the street of Wayside and King Morning. Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be. I got a box of bamboo shoots around my birthday.
And once I got some great
Montgomery Ward sent me a bathtub and a cross-cut saw.
Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street of free drinks and privacy COD.
It could be curtains.
or dishes! Or a double boiler!
It could be
Something special
something very, very special now.
just for me.
The Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street of don't let it pass my door. The Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. I wish I knew what he was coming for.
I got some salmon from Seattle last September.
And I expect a new rocking chair!
I hope I get my raisins from Fresno.
They are a shed a cannon for the courthouse square.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming now. I don't know how I could ever wait to see. It could be something from someone who is no related, but it could be something special just for me.
Until you stop.
Here you are, Winthrop.
My cornet! Gee, thanks, Professor.
Men, you'll each receive individual instruction in due course. In the meanwhile, stay off the streets. Get acquainted with your instruments and remember to think the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da-di-da.
Sister, isn't this the most scrumptious salad gold thing you ever saw? I never thought I'd see anything so scrumptious like this salad gold thing. Oh, sister.
Round 1 for you, Mr. Hill. But I better hear some by
short order, or I'll see you in front of the courthouse over at the county seat. Now, Miss Marion, about that book.
Come, George, a tempest you get.
You watch your phraseology. Tend to your own manners if you want to. I've got to get something from the librarian. About that book.
The Ladies' Committee on the Dance meets Tuesday nights at the high school.
and it's your kind of pony that gets me down. It's you on my pillow in all of my dreams, till once more the morning breaks through. Could be sad or truer or greater than it's you. It's you.
Smile, girl, smile.
Yes, it's you.
Oh, yes, it's you.
Lady, if you think you can hold these kids back, go right ahead. Mr. Washburn, let's over here dance up the professor now. Oh, let's go with me. Let's go with me. Let's go with me. Now, a woman no kiss on the very first date is usually a hussy. And a woman no kiss on the second time out is anything but fussy. But a woman will wait till the third time around, head in the clouds, feet on the ground. She's the girl he's glad he's found. She's his shaboopy, 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 shaboopy. The girl is hard to get. Shaboopy, 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 but you can win her yet. Walk her once just to raise the curtain, then you walk around twice and you make for certain. Once more in the flower garden, she will never get sore and you beg her pardon. Squeeze her once when she isn't looking, if you get a squeeze back, that's fancy cooking. Once more for a pat for upper, she will never get sore on her way to supper. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, do. Now little old Sam was a no gal as anyone could see. But look at her now, she's a go gal who only goes for me. Squeeze her once when she isn't looking. Get a squeeze back, that's fancy cooking. Once more for a pat for upper, she will never get sore on her way to supper. Shaboopy, 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 the girl is hard to get. Shaboopy, 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 but you can win her yet.
Zanita and I are dating behind your back. Why? You'd rather be doing it in front of your back. Do what? Never mind. You know what? Zanita's scared of Jack. But I'm not. You think you'd hate to see your own daughter scared of you? Chili cloud! I'm only going to tell you this once more. If I catch you touching my daughter, I'll, by God, horsewhip you till hell won't have it again.
No, George.
Not one poop out of you, madam.
I think he means puke.
Yeah. And now you, get out of this public building.
I have as much right in this public place as anybody.
Right? Where do you get any right around here? Aiding and abetting the swindling activities of this spellbinding symbol salesman? You know what I see written all over you? Reform school. Now get out. Get out, you wild kid.
Uncle, please! It's capitals like you that make blood in the marketplace! Yes!
You watch your phraseology, young woman. Go home. Ukulele, tend to your dance.
George.
I'll handle Zanita.
My dad.
Hanging around with wild kids from the wrong side of town.
No, your shit. If I could just make you understand for a minute.
Well, you can't. And by the way, thanks for nothing. I read that book you gave me from cover to cover for a whole week now, and I didn't find a thing.
Mr. Mayor, if you please.
I'll settle your hash as soon as I get these premises off my oldest girl. Yes.
All right then, but I want you to know that I'm vouching for Tommy Gillis. Oh, that boy's got the confidence every kid in town. You'll be standing in line waiting to shake his hand by the time the band plays its first concert.
By the time this band plays its first concert, the individual members will have to foregather in wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they'll get from tripping over their beards. Now you listen, my fine young feathered young. Never mind. Oliver, Jason, Ewart, Owen. I want that man's credentials, and I want them tonight. Stick close to him. He's slipperier than a Mississippi sturgeon.
You mean you want us to get his credentials?
Get his papers or get him in jail. Couldn't make myself clear if I was a button hook in the well water.
You owe us.
Professor Hill, I think it was abominable the way mayors should behave, but I think it was wonderful that you came to Tommy's defense.
Oh, that was nothing.
Well, yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. Well, a man can't dodge the issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does a poet say? A coward dies 1,000 deaths. A brave man only 500. Of course, Mayor was already pretty mad on account of the billiard parlor. Well, I suppose a recommendation from a musical authority such as yourself would help, but I couldn't think of asking you to do anything
Why,
like that.
Professor Hill?
You mean you would?
I'd be glad to. I just wish I was a little more informed. You see, I've been meaning to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
Yes, cornet, Mother of Pearl keys.
I'm sure it's fine, but you see, he never plays it. He gave a few experimental blacks in the first week or so.
Yes, experimental.
And he says that you told him it wasn't necessary.
Well, you see.
And then he sings the minuet in G almost constantly.
La-di-da-di-da-di-da. La-di-da. La-di-da.
But he never touched that.
Well,
He said you told him it wasn't necessary.
Well,
He said something about a think system. That if you think the minuet in G, then you don't have to worry about the note. Now, Professor.
Oh, Miss Marion, the think system is revolutionary, I'll admit. But so was Galileo's conception of the heavens, Columbus's conception of the egg globe, Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Now, I cannot discuss these things here in public. If you'll allow me to call, when may I call?
Every night this week.
We know that you will soon unfold the forgetting part of Lyra's gold. Yeah, where a woman's heart should be. Fairy princess, moonbeam door,
we've got our orders.
We all been deputized.
Yes, yes, congratulations. You know, I've been by a few times this week to give you fellows my references and credentials, but we always seem to get off the subject somehow. Oh, now, I've got just what you need up in the hotel room. Take me just a second.
I'm afraid I'll have to go with you.
Of course. Let me see if I have my key. What's this? A testimonial from the only female bassoon player ever to play the Red Path Circuit. Oh, Madame Rini. That was her stage name, of course.
May I have
she
that,
was
please?
from Moline.
May I have that?
Lida Rose Quackenbush. Lida Rose. You never forget a name like that. Lida Rose. Just like the old song.
Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose.
To get the
Sun back in the sky. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose. About 1,000 kisses, high. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bells chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion I'll pop the question. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lida Rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Lida Rose, oh, won't you be mine? Be mine. Lida
wants to call again, you'll see him alone. And if you haven't the gumption to tell him how you feel,
Tell him.
well, there's nothing wrong with a little lady like him.
Mama!
Winthrop,
Mama!
where you been?
Fishing
Fishing?
with Harold.
You mean Professor Hill?
And look, I fell some worms last week.
Did you have a good time?
Brunson, he told me about his hometown here in Indiana, and he said he'd take me there someday. And he taught me a song that had hardly any F's in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, that's the town that knew me when. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how it happened on this elegant syncopation, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there's just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, New York, around. But Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how it happened on this elegant syncopation, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there's just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, around. But Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. I'll be back in a minute. I have to show Amarillo my live frog. La di da di da di da, la di da, la di da.
Oh, leave the dishes, Mama. I'll do them.
But don't you have to dress for the sociable?
Oh, there's time later.
Hey, do the Shin live around here somewhere?
The Shin home is on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Ah, crime! Hey, you're the music teacher in town. You know about this Hill fella forming a boys band?
Well, yes.
Yeah, well, don't let that worry you anymore, because I got the goods on him in spades. That swindling two-bit, no-good thimble-rigger. That's why I gotta go see Shin. You see, I'm, just passing through town. The number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop, and I sure wish it was 20, because I'd like to spend 5 more minutes on you, girly girl.
Who are you?
The name's Charlie Cowell, ample salesman. But just now I'm out to protect the good name of the travel fraternity from that swindler.
Oh, no, Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Big mistake! My old lady's corset cover. Why, that fella's been the raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth just long enough. He spoiled Illinois for me, and he ain't gonna spoil Iowa. Hey, what kind of music teacher are you anyway that you couldn't see through him? Why, he's no more of a professor than I'm the King of England.
I know all about that. Band directors are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. Really, he's a fine director.
Fine director? Have you ever heard a single note from that band?
Well, no.
And you never will, because there isn't any band.
Oh, Mr. Cowell, just listen to me for a minute.
Oh, I'd like to do more than listen. If I had the time, because I sure got the inclination, but I gotta go catch my train and drop off this dynamite on the way to the depot, so see you next time through, girly girl.
You'll never catch the train to the depot. You'll have to catch the crossing.
No, sir, I gotta leave word, and I can see that you ain't the one to leave it with.
Oh, wait a minute, Mr. Cowell. You don't know me yet.
Oh? Is that an invitation?
Well, no, I mean, I don't know you.
I'd probably need more time anyway.
I mean, as well as I'd like.
No problem there, girly girl.
I've never met a man who sells anvils. That's something, well, quite different.
Well, you know, it takes a real salesman to sell anvils. They have a very limited appeal. What am I doing? Why does that train all get fired and I gotta leave word?
Leave word with me.
Not on your tintype. How do I even know you'll deliver these letters?
Try me.
not fancy or fine, like a rose, won't you be my heart?
Marion, dear, who were you talking to just now? Oh, why, Professor Hill.
Top of the evening to you, Mrs. Carew, Miss Mary.
Oh, Professor, why don't you come up and sit with Marion for a few minutes? I've got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, I'll put some on.
Shall we sit down, as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
did I? I didn't mean anything.
Oh, Miss Marion, I'm not suggesting your invitation indicated anything more than academic enlightenment. The think system. I've been by your house a few times this week to try and explain it to you, but well, there always seem to be people about, mostly ladies, I should think.
Yes, Mrs. Squires and several of the other ladies.
Well, that's good. Wouldn't want anybody beating my time. You wouldn't? Oh, man. Well, evidently tonight is not the convenient evening. See you at the sociable.
Professor Hill, is it true that you've had 100? What I mean to say is it true that you've...
Yes?
Is it true that you've developed a think system?
A what? A think system? Oh, yes, of course, but it's really quite simple. Simple as whistling. Nobody has to tell you how to move your lips when you whistle. You only have to think a tune to have it come out clearly here. Now, you give this a try before you ask any questions.
I take your word.
Shall we sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers?
Well, I dare say you've met dozens, even 100.
Well,
Have they all been as fascinated in the think system as I have?
some more, some less. One young lady thought of the same system before I got to her town. She showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
Please don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. You must have many more important things to do than to explain the think system to me.
Can't think of a one.
And I must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now say, where'd you get an idea like that?
Well, one hears rumors and things about traveling salesmen.
Oh, Miss Marion, you can't believe everything you hear. After all, one even hears rumors about librarians.
I'm sure you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what anyone says, he left me that assured job so that Mother Winthrop and I could have some security. Surely you don't believe what you
No, of course not. But that's exactly what I'm saying. Why do you think people start these rumors?
Narrow-mindedness, jealousy. Jealousy mostly, I suppose.
Jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. And now then, what have you heard?
Well, nothing about you personally, just generally.
Well, what have you heard generally?
Well, that it stands to reason that with narrow-mindedness and jealousy can lead to... We'll take you, for instance. Your attention to customers and teachers, they might easily be misinterpreted, mightn't they? I mean, honestly now, mightn't they?
Why...
And if so, you're saying someone or another salesman were jealous, it could be downright lies, couldn't they?
What the...
Rumors and things.
Yes, of course.
And it just goes to show that you should never believe everything that you hear. If you only discuss things, then...
Miss Marion, I would be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you, but couldn't we do it while sitting down? You do sit, your knees bend and all.
We could sit on the porch step.
We could also sit on a large hollow log over to the footbridge.
Oh, no, I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk.
I gotta dress for the sociable.
Then meet me there in 15 minutes.
Oh, please, Professor, I couldn't possibly. Maybe some other time. Maybe tomorrow.
My dear little librarian, pile up enough tomorrows and all you'll find you've collected are a bunch of empty yesterdays. I don't know about you, but I want to make today worth remembering.
So do I.
The footbridge then, 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama! Oh, Mama! I told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Oh, glory be and saints be
The kids are in them already. Those people are going to be screaming for music if those kids show up at that sociable.
Yeah.
Here's most of the dough. I got Tommy to collect it. He's with the kids, keeping them together at least, pretending to hold practice over at the lower.
All right, go get the rig.
I got
Well, what time's the freight go?
it. 9:40 from the junction.
It's not even 8:30 yet.
Listen, if you want to turtle-wordle yourself around here and get
All
caught in
right,
some
all
fun...
right, Marcellus. I'll make it to the hotel in plenty of time. Beat it. Go get the rig. Miss Marion, you're late.
Well, you said 15 minutes.
Yes, but I mean to say you're about, I'd say about 26 years too late. Took you all that time to get to the footbridge with a fellow.
You want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Well, halfway here, I nearly turned back. You see, I'm sure I'm not the first person to think more clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Miss Marion, you don't think I'm trying to sell you anything?
Oh, no. You've given me something, and that's why I decided to come.
I don't recall giving
Yes, you did. Something beautiful. And I'm glad. Oh, please don't think that I expect too much more from you. A traveling salesman can't be expected to stay put. There have been many ports of call, and I'm sure there'll be many more. But there's no reason for me not to be grateful for what you've left behind for me.
Marion,
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all, till there was you. There were birds in the skies, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all, till there was you. And there was music, and there were wonderful roses. They tell me in sweet fragrant meadows of dawn and dew. There was love around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you. There was love around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was
Marion, there are a lot of things you don't know about me. Excuse me a moment. I'm expecting a telegram from Hector Berlioz. This could be it.
Now what? Well, who's this salesman here? Looks like she's selling it. You're buying.
Nuts. I had to keep her off balance, didn't I? How was I supposed to know she would be able to leave tonight?
Look at her. She's so far off balance now you can't tell her from a catboat in a hurricane.
All right, Buster Brown. I rose up through the ranks on this skirmish, and I'm not about to resign without my commission.
Well, you can't get anywhere with her right out here on the footbridge.
Place over by the sociable near Madison Park makes this footbridge look like an old lady's home. Now beat it. Go get the rig. Oh, never a peaceful moment in the music business. Now then, where were we?
You were gonna tell me what I don't know about you.
Oh, well, we don't have to go into that right now, do we?
No, nor do we ever. You see, the librarian hasn't felt like doing much research, but she did plenty when you first arrived.
Oh, about what?
Gary Conservatory of Music, gold medal class of Ot 5. Harold, there is no gold medal class of Ot 5
Well, there certainly wasn't.
because the town wasn't built till Ot 6. I'll see you at the sociable.
You knew all the time?
Since July 7th, 3 days after you arrived. I tore this from the Indiana State Education Journal with every intention of using it against you. But now I give it to you with all my heart.
But if you knew, why didn't you? Why, you little... With 110 cornets played the air. Then I solemnly took my place as a one and only bass, and I oompahd up and down the square.
Good night, my someone, good night, my love.
With 110 cornets right behind.
I wish thee may, and I wish thee might.
There were horns of every shape. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be.
With 110 cornets played the air.
I wish I may, and I wish I might. Now good night, my someone, good
Professor, he's had his hand in your wallet. And yours, madam. And yours, little lady. Ever since the first moment he stepped foot into this house. Now I have here more documented evidence than you'll ever have time to read. There isn't any band. There's never been any band, and there never will be any band. And if you don't go hunt him down right now, like a mad dog, there won't be any Harold Hill either. Because he'll be on the next train out of town.
Now, will you believe me?
Well, what are we waiting for?
Listen to her. I want his mind.
After him, and when you get him, bring him to the schoolhouse. After him!
Harold, I can't find Winthrop. He's run away. Oh, Harold, please go. They're talking tar and feathers.
Glad to see you, Mary.
Oh, Harold, don't you know you don't owe me anything? Not a word, not a word.
Right. He's not over here. Let's try to play the crab.
Winthrop!
Just a minute there, son.
I'm not your son. Leave me alone.
Not until I've had a chance to tell you a thing or two.
I won't listen. You won't tell the truth anyway.
What to?
Would not.
What so? Tell you anything you want to know?
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you dirty, rotten crook?
Yes.
Leave me go, you big liar!
Ah, what's the matter? You wanted the truth and I gave it to you. Now you're going to stand here and listen to a thing or two. And I'm bigger than you, so you might as well quit wiggling. There's two things you're entitled to know. One, I think you're a wonderful kid. Thought so from the very first. That's why I wanted you in the band, so you'd quit feeling sorry and moping around for yourself.
What band?
I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, the other thing, come to think about it, is isn't any of your business.
I wish he'd never come to River City.
Oh, no, you don't, Winthrop.
Rufus, do you believe him?
I believe everything he ever said.
What he promised
I
me.
know what he promised. And it all came true, just like he said. The lights, the flags, the colors, even the symbols.
Where was all that?
And the way every kid walked around town this summer. Especially you. And the parents. Does Mama wish he'd never come to River City?
Well, you do, don't you?
No, Winthrop, I don't. Now go, Harold, please.
Go on, Professor. Hurry up.
I can't, Winthrop.
Why not?
Well, for the first time in my life, I got my foot caught in the door. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you.
Right over here this way.
Look, Professor, that way, that way.
head-and-shoulder arrogance long enough to remember what River City was like before Harold Hill arrived? Do you remember? Well, do you? Well, I should think some of you ought to be grateful for what he's brought to this city and should be willing to admit to it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. If there is one person in this hall who doesn't think this man Hill should be tarred and feathered, let him stand up. You purchased expensive uniforms, technical instruction books, and high-priced band instruments. Have you all forgot the clear understanding and warranty that your child will be taught to play in a band? Well, where's the band? Where's the band?
Think, man, think.
That was great. Do they just perform on the weekends?